Here we go. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sasha Goodfriend, and I am the Executive Director of MassNOW, the Massachusetts chapter of the National Organization for Women. Thank you. Love the energy. I have to say, this event was a brainchild between Bria Gadsden and myself. We had so many sheroes that we wanted to hear from, so we thought, why not spend a whole Saturday in a summit where we could bring organizations together and academics and student activists. And I am still so surprised that so many people came and showed up on a Saturday to talk about menstrual equity. So give it up to yourselves for spending your Saturday here. Thank you. To ground us as we begin, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that we are gathered on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Massachusetts people who have stewarded this land for generations. And as we discuss equity and justice today, let us honor the resilience and contributions of Indigenous communities, past and present, and commit ourselves to dismantling systems of oppression in all forms. Also, as we begin today, I want to start off with a huge thank you to the MassNOW team. Kyla, who you saw up here and now in the back taking pictures. And Kathy, the newest staff member of our team, our menstrual equity organizer. And Jim, who helped welcome you at registration. MassNOW has never been a 4-person staff team before, and so it's really exciting to see this as a result of all of the energy from folks investing in our feminist agenda and our menstrual equity agenda. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all of the volunteers. We had nearly 20 people here before 9 a.m. helping to put the room together, and this event would not have happened without our volunteers working to make today happen and working to make the Massachusetts Menstrual Equity Coalition's work happen 365 days a year. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We could not have pulled this off without you. We're very excited today to be partnering with Our Bodies Ourselves today to make this event happen. Huge whip for OBOS, as we affectionately call them. I have personally been the content chair of the Menstruation Through Menopause theme on the OBOS Today website for the last 5 years, and so there was a natural synergy between bringing some of our experts from our panel together, Dr. Spencer and Bria Gadsden, for this event today. And I've also 15 years ago, when I was an undergrad at BU, had the honor of working with OBOS Today for the 40th anniversary when I was at Boston University. And so it's such a privilege. We think of period poverty as a new term, but we all know this is not a new issue at all, and it's hugely thanks to Our Bodies Ourselves Today for championing menstruation so that people can know about their own bodies and how to take care of their own menstrual care, and also so that we can make sure that the healthcare field in general is knowledgeable about menstruation and menstrual irregularities. And you might have heard about OBOS Today, or Our Bodies Ourselves, traditionally, since it is now over 50 years old, but it's been super exciting under Amy's leadership to see Our Bodies Ourselves transform into a digital platform. And so if you haven't already been to the Our Bodies Ourselves Today website, and the program is hosted here at Suffolk University, I encourage you to go there to learn about menstruation, and also to learn about abortion access, around growing older, around all the different parts of what happens to our bodies, women's health, and gender-inclusive health in general. I don't think it's lost on anyone here that this moment that we're in right now, women's health is under attack, but also truth is under attack, and news is under attack. And so to have a website with content that is verified by our experts. I see Charlotte Powley, another one of our content experts here, is really an important resource to have, and people will only know about it if you are able to tell them about it. Word of mouth is still the best way to be sharing information. So I hope you are able to learn a little bit about some of the organizations here with us today. And to kick us off, I would love to invite Amy to say a few words.
My caller. People are judging me. Okay, thank you. It takes a village, right? Thank you so much, Sasha. I really appreciate that very warm welcome and introduction. And it is surprising and wonderful to see all of you here. As Sasha said, you know, I'm going to talk just very briefly about our bodies, ourselves today, about what we're doing here, and welcome you on behalf of Suffolk University, where our bodies, ourselves today is. Our bodies, ourselves is now a project of the Center for Women's Health and Human Rights at Suffolk University. Most universities, I think, would not have something like our bodies, ourselves today, because we do, as Sasha said, we do speak the truth about what is happening with women's bodies, women's lives, gender expansive people, which is an umbrella term, including trans, non-binary, genderqueer, all different kinds of genders of people, and many of us who are currently under attack. So welcome to Suffolk. And I want to, let's see. Okay, Sasha already did this, but I'm also just going to mention the people there are a lot of our bodies, ourselves today, people here. So Sasha being the chair of our Menstruation Through Menopause panel for 5 years. Noelle Spencer, our keynote. Dr. Spencer, who is one of our long-term menstrual cycle content experts, and Bria Gadsden, also on that panel. So thank you, everybody. You know, our bodies, ourselves today provides accurate, as our bodies, ourselves always has for 55 years, basically. We provide accurate information, compelling personal stories, and and inclusive, incisive feminist analysis about the health and sexuality of women and gender expansive people. This should not be controversial, right? And yet, here we are. Our history of activism started here in Boston in 1970, when our bodies, ourselves began and inspired and helped to shape the women's health movement in the United States and around the globe. It has sold millions of copies and been translated and adapted into 34 different languages, 34 different cultures. Some of them have the same language, but 34 different editions. We believe that this kind of feminist community building and activism is just as important now as it ever was, maybe more so. You know, I want to just say a few words about the present moment that we are finding ourselves in, the political moment. And I want to, you know, just drawing on my own perspective based on many years of activism, there's no right way to deal with what we're facing, with the onslaught of misogyny, racism, trans and homophobia, and the spree of environmental destruction that we are facing. There's no right way. There's no wrong way, but there's no, you know, however, you know, as activists, we are already doing some of the things that are really important for the community and for our own health and well-being. Activism itself is great for our mental health. Did you know this? All you activists, all us activists, it gives us a sense of efficacy. It's always better to do something than to just react and feel terrible. Sometimes we need to feel terrible, but it's better if we do things, and as activists, that's what we're doing. We also are already, I'm sorry, I'm losing my notes there. Gathering in person is extremely important. Getting off the screens, getting off the doom scrolling, getting away from that reactive posture, and meeting face to face with each other, connecting, building community, giving each other support. As activists, we want to help people, and it's also important to let people help us when we need it, because we're all in this together. I know it's a cliche, but we are all in this together. We got to get through it together. So I want to encourage you all as activists, take full advantage of this, connect with each other, be real with each other. We're struggling, right? We're hurting. We're facing things that, that we haven't faced before. Some we have faced for a very long time and some are new, but we're all facing hard things, and this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. We're gonna get through it together. We are so happy that you are here today to discuss our menstrual health and how to improve menstrual equity in our community. We know that menstrual health is intersectional, right? For menstrual equity to exist, it requires feminism, it requires racial justice, it requires gender justice. Menstrual equity requires health care for all. Everybody to have access to good health care, comprehensive sex education, poverty relief, and ultimately a functioning democracy and a livable planet. So we're talking about menstrual health and menstrual equity, but we're also talking about the kind of world that we want to live in and that we need to live in and that we all deserve. So onward. I embrace all of you. So glad to hear you. I thank you for all that you do, and I will pass it over to the next person. I believe is Sarah Pallone.